As Charles Woodson would say, Raiders. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, for Raiders Last Call podcast on a Saturday night. As you can see, it's not Chris and Jason and myself. We've got someone else with us tonight. We have Raider Will. Chris is on his way to Vegas right now. He's about 2 hours away from Vegas. He's actually going to the game this weekend. So he called Jason and I up today saying, hey, I can't make it tonight. So I'm thinking something was wrong. And he goes, I'm going to the game tonight. I'm like, oh, sweet shit. So he will not be with us tonight. So we have Will stepping in his place. So as always, I'm 401 Raider Jeff. To my left is Mr. Jason 1st Downs, Raiders1st Downs. And then on my other side is Will from Silver and Black Podcast. So all three of us are streaming to our channels. Chris is streaming to his also. So make sure everybody bops back and forth between the four channels, hits those thumbs, hits those subscription, hit the notification, and we're going to do this. So real quick, let's just hit the chat up, see who's with us tonight. We've got Robert Pena in the house. We've got PNW Mark. We have Frank Webb is with us tonight. What's up, brother? Raider Paul hitting us with the Raiders. Let's give him his little due here.
Raiders.
All right. Sacktown Raider Mike's in the house. What's up, brother?
Sacktown.
Accelerator's in the house. What's up, my guy?
Salute, brother.
Let's see who else is here. Donuts Duncan with the Raiders. Oh, we got to do it again.
Raiders.
Uh-oh. Look who just joined. Our nemesis for the week.
Jeff is getting his Raider. What are you doing? Stop doing that. Get out of here. So Richard Schneider's here. Accelerator said I'm getting himself a shield-shaped donut. Chewy's in the house. What's up, Chewy? Geno Max is Chewy. Here with us. Let's see. Am I missing someone? Am I missing? Oh, no, I'm not. Bueno was here. Lucas is here. What's going on, man? And Mr. Marcus Banks, the Titans fan. Marcus, where have you been, my brother? Haven't seen you in I don't know how long, man. I've been getting worried about you. I even said it the other night. We're playing the Titans this weekend. Anybody see Marcus?
Well, we saw him.
No. Now we see you. I'm glad you're back, man. You been all right? Everything good? Everything good? Let's see. Yeah, see, Bueno even said it. Bro, I was worried about you, my guy. Glad you're okay. Rorschach's in the house.
Rorschach, what's happening, brother?
What's up, my brother?
Let's see. Have you ever had a Raider Shield donut? I think they served them at Allegiant. No, I've never been to Allegiant, so no.
They do that like that donut place. There's like a famous donut place. Like it's almost like Voodoo Donuts.
Oh, I had no idea.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good, man.
What's up, Original Surfer Bob? What's up, my brother? I completed my 7-round mock draft for every team. Can I send it to all of you? Yeah, my name, the 401 Raider Jeff. It's the same for Instagram and everything else. So go for it. So Marcus said I was sick and in the hospital for a little while. Oh man, you okay? I'm glad you're back, man. We have missed you. Trust me. I said this a couple of weeks ago, and then it came up again this week. Especially with us playing against your team. I was like, where is he? I figured you'd be popping in, and here you are. Well, I appreciate you being here, man. We missed you big time. Let's see. Who else just popped? Oh, Cool Kev's in the house. What's up, Cool Kev? All right. So we're going to get into this. We're going to do the same format we did last week. So we're going into this weekend. We've got the Titans at 4:05 tomorrow Eastern time in Allegiant. Both teams enter week 6 at 1-4. Brock Bowers is out. Michael Mayer makes his return. Titans rookie QB starts. Both teams, we're both desperate for a turnaround. We know that, right? So we're 1-4. They're 1-4. And both teams need this win badly. So we're just going to jump right into this shit tonight and get this rolling. So, and I have to wear my glasses tonight because the print on this is so small. So with this being said, well, I'm going to start this off with you tonight. Is this game officially a must-win for the Raiders, or are we already past that point for the season?
This game is an absolute must-win right now. This team needs to fire the alarms, call the USS, call the Army, call the Navy, call the Marines, call everybody to win this game. I'm going to tell you why, Jeff. At 1-5, 4 teams have made the playoffs. 4 teams. Then after that, 0 teams have won the Super Bowl. 0. So if you want your playoff hopes to still be alive, let's look at 2-4. 2-4, you have 19 teams that have made it to the playoffs. And you have 4 teams that have won the Super Bowl. So if we're looking at still making the play, and right now everybody's like, oh, playoffs and stuff like that. Playoffs are still like a possibility. This team is still young in the season. Still young in the season. Yes, I know, Jeff, I know. But let's be real. It's only 4 losses right now. We have to, It's only 4 losses. Oh. I don't expect this team to make it that far. But if you want to have a successful season and say, hey, because right now, if we're packing it up at game 6, this was not a successful season. This was a trash season. And I mean, like, if we're packing it up at game 6, what does that tell your team? Like, what type of coaching staff do you have? I thought we were here to win, and I thought we were going to win a lot, and I thought we were going to compete. So if you want to compete, if you want to make things happen, yes, this is a must-win game. If you want to keep the playoff hopes and say that this team can still at least have some sort of possibility, yes. So that's why it's a must-win for me, because at the end of the day, like, my goal is always for this team to, be, and I don't want to be like a Debbie Downer. I don't want to be that guy that's just going to say, hey, let's pack it up at game 6. Like, come on, man. At game 6, I'm already calling it a season? Nah, I can't do that. So the competitive guy in me, and I mean, like, if I'm coaching that team, that's the way I'm looking at it. I want to make the playoffs. I want to freaking be on a winning team. So, yes, must win.
A lot of people don't agree with you in the chat.
So it's not a must win.
Will, you, sir, are way off. The season is over. It started week 2, and it started week 2.
But again, I mean, like, are you going to tell all those guys in the locker room to pack it up? You're going to tell Max Crosby, hey, man, call it a season.
You're not going to tell him that, but I think a lot of players are already in that mindset right now based on what's going on with I think there's just more negativity in that locker room than we know about right now is the big thing.
No, I can agree with you. And I'm not trying to tell you, like, hey, but you asked me if it's a must-win. And if it's a must-win for me to, like, save this season, yes. We didn't say, hey, is it a, the season is over and blah, blah, blah. I'll be like, again, I can't look at it like that.
I get it. I get what you're saying. So, Jason, do you want to add in on that too? Or
no?
No. Well, let me ask you this, Jason. What kind of attitude do the Raiders need to bring to get the crowd back on their side? Like, what needs to happen, especially starting this weekend, to get because the fan base is so negative and the morale's down. Nobody's happy right now. What do they need to do, or what kind of attitude do they need to come out with?
Well, I can tell you that it's gonna take more than one game to come out. If they come out and beat the pants off the Titans, okay, whatever. All right, we'll be happy. It'll kind of, it's kind of like having a headache or migraine. You take something, the headache kind of goes away, but you can still kind of feel it there. It ain't going to go all the way until we just keep taking the medicine throughout the year and bringing as far as the type of attitude that they need to bring. Look up in the frickin' stands. Look on go on YouTube, go on the internet, and see how passionate we are about that team, and carry the same passion out onto the football field that we carry with us all the time. Because I could tell each and every one of you guys that's got the uniform on tomorrow, in 5 weeks, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years from now, a lot of you guys ain't even going to be able to represent this shield. It's our shield. We're begging you to go out there and show everybody that our shield means something. Bring the attitude with you. We're going to bring it. Raider fans are going to bring it all the time. That's why we're so upset. And it's like most teams wouldn't have nearly the amount of fans getting on YouTube or streaming or whatever, pounding the table like we do. And it's been 22 years, it's been 22. We had a couple years. We had 2016. I thought we saw the light. 2017, and then 2018, it was just like whatever. And then the Gruden fiasco. I'm fed up with the way they've done shit for the last 15 years, 20 years. Okay. And it's time that they go, look, we just got to just stop with the way we've been doing it, and I was confident at the beginning of the year, much like you two and everybody else in the chat. We were pretty confident at the beginning of the year that we finally had some semblance of respect in the NFL with who we hired, how we built our front office, how we went out and got Tom Brady to come in and be a part owner of the team. So we had a little bit, maybe commanded a little bit more respect in the NFL. Financially now, we're not the poorest team in the NFL no more. So it just, at the beginning of the year, it just felt like, okay, I kind of feel that 1999 vibe. In 1999, you kind of feel that this team was going to start doing something. Even though we were 7-8 going into that game against Kansas City, after that Kansas City game, it took off the next year in 2000, 2001, 2002, and then 2003 went boop. And not realizing that Coach Davis had sold our soul to the devil to try and win a Super Bowl with the salary cap and all his finances. I think we're still paying on loans that we took out to pay those players back then.
Marcus, I don't know if you were here when I said earlier, Chris isn't here tonight. He's actually in a car on his way to Vegas for the game this weekend. So this is his first time going to Allegiant, which I didn't know. I thought he had already been there before. So he's about an hour, 2 hours outside of Vegas right now on his way there. So he will be at the game tomorrow. 8:05, Chris for Raiders will be there tomorrow. So just to let you know, look for him. Just look for the black bald guy walking around with a cane.
He said he's gonna meet you in J-Lot.
Yeah. And Robert Pena, thank you, brother, for posting everybody's links in the chat. I appreciate that, man.
Thanks, Pena.
Thank you, sir.
That's what a moderator is supposed to do, and I appreciate that.
Yep, keep the riffraff out.
Accelerator says, yep, a victory over the Titans is just going to help us quiet for a while. True. Kenny is saying it's definitely a must win. I think in order for us to save some face in this league, especially the fact that we got to go up against the Chiefs next week, because if the Chiefs lose this weekend, there's a good chance that we're going in against the Chiefs, and it's the battle for who's going to be dead last in our division, because we could totally flip-flop it. If we beat the Chiefs and we're ahead of them by one game going into the bye week after that, it's going to make us feel good if we can pull 2 wins in a row, especially one against the Chiefs. Like we should win this game tomorrow. I'm going out on a limb and saying this is not only, I think, a must win just to get morale moving again, but I think it's a game that we should be able to win, because I think we are much better than what the Titans are. So some people may disagree. I don't really care. That's my thought. Let's see. We need to load the team up with a bunch of scatter posts. Yeah, that kid's on fire, man.
Just as
John Raiders, man, we need to fire Pete and bring Joe Brady. We're all done with old head Pete and getting washed QBs. Time to go young and do what other teams.
No.
I can't agree with that one. I mean, firing coaches every other year is just not a good. It's not good for the team. It's not good for the players. It's horrible for the fan base.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, I can't agree with that take. Sorry. I mean, it's your opinion. I get it, but I can't agree with it. I respect it, but there is a lot of people out there clamoring for Pete Carroll to get fired. It's like we're 5 games into the season, and we're already talking about getting rid of.
I knew that was going to happen if we were in this position. That's what's funny. It's like, come on, man. We've been firing, everybody, and it's not working.
It's obviously not the solution.
Nope.
I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything with the chat. Gio says, in 22 years, only 2 double-digit win seasons and 4 seasons above 500. It's easy to remember that all on one hand. Yeah, and it's true. The last 20 years has been actually absolutely abysmal. We've got a losing record for 20 years, and we're right back in that same situation right now. Donut says, if we lose tomorrow, we have a fire sale of players. That I could see us doing. Like some teams, when they know that they're out of the playoff picture, they start gearing up for next season by unloading players. I think we're going to get to that point.
Hold on.
Max Crosby is the only commodity on this team right now that you're going to get anything worth of value to build in your draft for next year. That's plain and simple.
Maybe Jakobi for like a 5th or 6th round. Or actually, it'd probably be a 6th round and swap 7th round picks.
For who? Jakobi? I think you could probably get a 3rd or 4th for him. But Max is going to give you your highest value. There ain't nobody else on this team that's going to give you any higher value.
Yeah, Max
Brock ain't going anywhere. Brock would be the only other one that would give you any great return on trading him away. But you're not going to let him go. Absolutely not.
Max is worth 3 top 50 picks. Easy.
And that's the other thing, too. If we were to trade, you also got to look at who we possibly could trade with, too. Do you want to trade
a buyer? Dude, everybody is a buyer. When it comes to Max Crosby,
but you want to trade him away to somebody that's got a lower pick, so you get 2 early first-round picks. You don't want to have, like, say it's the 49ers, and say they make it to the NFC Championship. Now you're picking later in the first round, but still, it's still a top 32 pick. But yeah, every person is. I get it. The Jets looking for a lot more than that. Yeah, 805. I'll let him know that too about J-Lot. Let's see. Man, I am way behind on the chat. Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are supposed to lose Super Bowls. Yeah. Raider Paul. What's up, Raider Paul? Really, Dixon, you don't think he comes? I'm not even sure we can beat the Titans. I think we can beat the Titans.
We could beat anybody.
Well, the Titans.
100%, Jason. 100%.
Bob says if the Raiders lose tomorrow, Crosby's a 49er by Monday.
That's not out of the question.
No, it's not. What's up, Arnie? Arnie's in the chat. What's up, brother?
Let me tell you like this, man. This is why the 49ers are good. Because they got fucking balls. They called on Max Crosby before any other team to say, hey, are you guys interested? Like, if you guys are trying to ship out a good player, we're trying to pick him up. Like, tell me when's the last time you heard our team calling a team before the player is even available to be like, hey.
You got to be in position to start. You got to be in the position to where when you acquire that player, it's going to benefit us. But when you're 1-5 or 2-6, what good does it do to acquire a player and give up draft capital when you know you're going to need that draft capital?
No. I agree with you. But that's why
I didn't want Micah Parsons. I knew it was going to be 3 high picks, and everybody's like, "Oh, with him and Max." I'm like, we need more than Micah.
Jason, tell me the last time the Raiders have even tried to court a player of that quality.
Devontae Adams.
Oh, that's right.
Well, real quick, we got
Is that fresh in your mind? That just happened yesterday. Look what it's doing today.
Now, let me ask you this. Was that a product of us not having a good system for him? Or was it because, like, what was the I feel like we weren't ready for him. I feel like that was a total McDaniel shit show.
We're not ready for anybody that's good. Understand that, first of all.
Because
we're not ready for any
McDaniels.
player that's going to excel without the proper players around him. And that's the same issue with Genty. Genty's not going to be as good until we get the right offensive line in front of him. But with that being said, real quick, we got a super chat here from A Priest, $2 super chat. Thank you, Father. Me and my colleagues are aware of the Raider curse. Can you do something to take the curse off of us? Like,
how many Hail Marys? What sagebrush we need?
Actually, can you do me a favor, Priest? Can you go and put your hand on the forehead of Geno Smith and allow him to see the view of the entire defense before he throws the ball, Father? Please, I ask you this.
Oh, man.
For the love of Raider Nation and everybody involved, please heal this man's eyesight so he can throw the ball and not throw interceptions. Please. Thank you.
Hey, you know what? Even if it's not a priest, hell, they're in Vegas. Go find you a magician somewhere.
He said, go find you a magician.
Good Lord. I know David Copperfield still has a residency there. Go get his ass. Now you see it, now you don't.
You're a magician. Find
What's
somebody.
up, Rebel? Rebel says if Crosby goes anywhere, it's to the Cowgirls. They have the most draft capital, and he's from Texas, and they need a defensive end drastically if they're going to compete. I'll tell you, the other team that I think he'd be a shoo-in for, too, is Detroit. Don't forget Detroit, too.
Yeah. I don't think Detroit's out of the question, and that's one of those that, hey, you want to go to Detroit? And he'd probably go, yeah, I would go.
So Kenny says, I predicted on my podcast, Raiders win 33-17, make a damn statement. We will punt only one time tomorrow and 0 turnovers, pipe dream, but I'm a dreamer. And I've been calling us when we've been doing predictions, which we're going to do tonight later on, and we're going to ask the chat when we get to it. I've been predicting us 30-21 in all our games this season because I think we have the capability of scoring 30 points, but we just aren't there yet. So until we score 30 points, I'm going with that prediction of 30-21 every freaking week. So, Kenny, I agree with you. James Firpo's in the house. We got to do this for my guy, Firpo.
Raiders.
Appreciate everybody that's in the chat right now. We're at 38 strong in the chat. I appreciate everybody being here and checking in with us. And anybody missed earlier, Chris is not with us tonight. He is on his way to Vegas. So we asked Will to step in tonight and play the role of Chris. So you're going to be grumpier.
Right.
First of all. Yeah.
We were going to ask 05 to join us, but I didn't want to wear a tank top.
The priest gave another $2 super chat. Your prayers have been heard. Geno's eyes are healed. If he throws an interception tomorrow, I want a redo on the prayer, Father.
I don't think it's an if, it's a win.
Yeah. What's up, Ricky? See, trade Max to Buffalo to piss off the rest of the AFC.
No.
And Dixon said 40-14 Colts. All right, so let's move on. All right, so this weekend, let me switch the banner up here. Boom, offensive scheme. So let's go start off this way. Who are we without Bowers? So Brock Bowers is out again. Michael Meyers is back. The wide receiver core is Meyers, Tucker, Thornton. They must carry the load. Offensive line has to protect Geno. The run game with Mostert, Genty, and whoever the number 3 guy is, because I think it's Lobby now, because I don't think it's Zamir White. I think he's been relegated to number 4. They got to deliver. Okay. So with that, with Bowers out, how should Geno adjust? Short passes, or should we go with the deep shots early, like we did last
week? To whoever's open. Stop throwing to the guys that are covered. Simple. I'd be like, and that's take what the defense is giving you. Honestly, like that's where we're looking at it, right? He's blaming guys. Oh yeah, my rookie receiver should have just, climbed up higher. When they're in a cover 2, that space is covered. That guy's clamped on the outside and on the inside, and you're going to throw it right there. When you got a guy running right up the sideline, that's a weakness of a cover 2 defense, is up the sidelines in the middle of the field, and you're going to make that type of throw. I'll be like, honestly, he's made a lot of throws. He has to have eye discipline. He has to look off receivers, go back to the fundamentals of the game, and execute those well. And if a guy's open, don't hesitate. Throw it to him. There's some guys that want to throw the ball, the big ball. That's what he wants to do. I'm like, stop trying to be Superman and just be a part of the team. First downs equals touchdowns. That's my philosophy when I coach offense. I'll be like, I go and I don't look at 100-yard field. I break down the field by 10-yard segments. If Geno can continuously matriculate the football down the field and make good, accurate throws to open guys without throwing it into tight holes, we should be all right. Use play action, use other things to get him moving out of the pocket, things like that. I'll be like, that's what he needs to do. And that's the hard thing. I'll be like, yeah, it's simple. Throw it to the guy that's open. But I'll be like, he's under pressure. He's seeing ghost. But I think what I would do if I was Chip Kelly is the quick game to get him going, to get him with confidence, and use the play action game, some RPO, maybe some zone read to get him going and to get us.
I had my finger hovering over it. I didn't mean to hit it. I apologize. I did it for Raider Paul. I was waiting for you to finish the gun.
No, it's all good. Hey, no, it's all good. Like I was just saying.
Like to shut you up. I'm sorry.
No. I get it, Jeff. I see the way it is. Just cut me off.
All right, now that you've been talking, Will, can I talk?
Damn. All right, I'll just shut up over here. I'll just be over in my corner now.
Is Geno going to get that magical 13 interceptions? Donuts Duncan says, quit staring down wide receivers. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Start short passes. Between short passes and run game, it should open up 1 or 2 deep shots. Yep. Everybody else in the chat, if I missed your paying attention, just listen. Oh, okay, no problem. Let's see. Kenny Pickett is underrated, in my opinion.
Geno Smith, personally.
Backup quarterback's always the favorite player on the team.
The only tight holes Geno should be throwing into is them Vegas streetwalkers.
Oh my God.
Geno might be George Blander's interception record, and I think you might be right.
The problem
Hey,
is
Geno Smith's in the chat. What's up, Geno Smith? Fix your damn eyes, man. Go get your eyes examined.
That's the whitest Geno Smith I've ever seen.
Right? It's Chip Kelly's picture. That's probably why. First, blame the rookies for my interceptions this year. Heard that, Jason. Got my tank top clean and pressed for the tailgate tomorrow. Don't care what it is.
Boom.
Welcome to the gun show.
Yep. Well, leading with that, then. So this goes to Jason now. How much trust do you have in Michael Mayer to be in those key spots that Bowers would be in, or do we have to shift focus to getting the ball to to Jakobi Meyers and Tucker?
Different type of tight end. They're both. Don't get me wrong; they're both really good tight ends.
What's up, Coach?
Bowers just has a different athleticism to him. Meyers is going to be a little bit more. Mayer is more of a traditional tight end, big bruiser that has blocking ability. I'm not saying he's a good blocker, but he has a blocking ability. He has that frame, and his routes are going to be a little bit different. But since we're on this topic, and it's a very good question, Jeff, because you're a great host, probably one of the best on the market.
Thank you. Yeah, that 805.
Best on the market.
Best on the market. One of the keys to the game tomorrow is Mayer is going to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
use him. Use him. You know, if he's got to do a stick route or a quick comeback or, you know, something to that effect, or even an ISO type screen on the outside, get him involved in the game.
Okay.
As soon as possible, because it's going to take a lot of pressure off of Genty. You get him involved, then Tucker will probably open up a little bit more. I'm starting to think Thornton probably needs to go sit on the bench and just play special teams for a little while. And maybe throw Jack Betch out there and let him get some run. Because really neither one of them are doing what we thought they would be doing. But I'm going to get back to Mayer because it's where we were to begin with. Then we got to get Mayer involved. Got to get him involved. Because
so basically, you're saying yes to the question I asked you. Then, do you trust him in those key spots?
Yeah, I think he's a top 10 tight end in this league. There's 20 other teams in this league that would love to have Michael Mayer on their team.
But the reason I'm asking you that question is because a lot of people don't feel that way with Michael Mayer. They feel as though he's not. Well, let's put it this way: he's definitely not Brock Bowers. We all know that. Nobody's delusional in that manner.
No,
but a lot of people don't have a lot of faith in Michael Mayer. You know, like they probably should have. But again,
we haven't used him.
No,
we haven't used him. Josh McDaniels never gave him the opportunity.
Yep.
Huh?
I said you put it perfectly. He's a different type of tight end than obviously than Bowers.
Right. And he hasn't been used the way he should be used. You know, I mean, really, in all honesty, he's going to be the perfect tight end with the single back, 11 personnel. You know, running traditional plays from under center and getting him open. And, you know, he needs – I'll tell you what. He needs at least 8 targets tomorrow. At least 8 targets tomorrow. To make it, and that will help that offense tomorrow against the Titans.
Arnie, I see a question. That is one of our questions for later on. So I've started. I will go back to that. If anybody's got any questions they want us to answer, we're going to do a little Q&A towards the end of the show. So if you want to hold the questions until then, and then we'll go through them. So then I got a question for the both of you on this one then. And we'll start with Will first. What's the ideal pass-run balance for this week?
60-70 or 60 to 70% run. That's what I'm looking at right now in order for us to formulate a win.
So you're saying 60% run?
Yes.
So you're saying 60% run.
60-40, 70-30. That's what I'm looking at. I mean, like, we have to run the ball heavily, effectively in order to prevent turnovers, to control the clock, and to keep their defense off the field and keep them fresh. I mean, like, that's the formula for the Raiders to win every game, honestly. And special teams can't fuck it up. Jason, go ahead, bro.
We need at least 55 plays total on offense. At least 55. Genty needs at least 20 carries. I'm not going to break it down in percentages. Genty needs at least 20 carries out of those 55. That's the minimum. That is the minimum. And that keeps us in that will get us into that 17-14, 13-10 type of game with Tennessee. Because that's what it's going to probably end up being. Right? Unless something happens and Chris flies out of the fourth deck and goes down there and sprinkles luck on them, and they start putting up point. Because I tell you what, if the Raiders score more than 30 points tomorrow, I'm taking up a GoFundMe account to take Chris to every home game.
You heard it here, baby. You heard it here.
I agree with what both of you said. I agree with the 60-40, and I definitely agree with Jason on the amount of touches for Genty. I think Genty needs to be in total touches between 25 to 30 in that range.
Yes.
Even if it's 25 carries and then the 5, pass attempts towards him, I think that's a good mix. I mean, he showed that he could catch the ball. That's for damn sure. He did it first play of the game last week, and it looked good, and then it didn't look good for the rest of the game after that.
100%.
So I guess this one's going to be for everybody too, and this includes the chat. What's one fix in the red zone that helps us finally score touchdowns? We'll start with Jason on this one. What do you think we need to do in order to score touchdowns in the red zone? What's the best option?
Well, unfortunately, our quarterback has one of the worst red zone efficiencies, and he had that before we picked him up. I don't know if anybody noticed that when all you stat gurus out there looking at stats, and he was like at 47% effectiveness in the red zone. And that was his Seattle days. So we don't not a whole lot to look up to. Bucket, yeah, Dixon, right on, spot on. Have a different quarterback. I mean, in all honesty, let's think about it. It just if I don't know. I don't want to beat my head up against the wall too many times. And of course, we've been marinating on this shit for 6 freaking days from last Sunday, and so
I mean, one of these weeks, our takes and our questions will be different, hopefully. But it always seems like we're going on what we need to fix all the time, and I'm sick and tired of it. Will, what's your feeling on fixing our ability to score in the red zone?
We need to run the motherfucking football with some attitude. We need to get some fucking cojones with our interior linemen and freaking move people and move their ass and then fucking make people swallow the football down their fucking throat. It's very simple in the red zone. Have an attitude about you, kick some ass, take some freaking names, and be a freaking road grader. Have some pride in what you do on the offensive line and kick some fucking ass. Then you go play action off of that. You go from underneath center because guess what? You're moving people. Then the defense doesn't know what to do in the red zone. Stop going at a freaking shotgun. Stop playing pussy ball. Like when we're sitting there, oh yeah, we're a finesse team. We're not a finesse team. Have the attitude about you. Shove the football down their throat and give it to them. That's my solution for scoring in the red zone.
What did I say last week, Jason? Fucking talks. What did I say last week, Jason? I said, put your foot on their throat, don't let off the throttle, and just lay into them. Go deep right away. We did go deep, but our foot never got anywhere near the accelerated pedal last Sunday. My take on the red zone, I think it's also going to involve Michael Mayer, in all honesty. I think he needs to be that big target on the goal line with the ability to just kind of fall into the end zone type of thing, across the middle plays to him. I think he needs to have a heavy presence in there. And I agree with the running the ball too. Run. I said it the other day. I said the only time I want to see Geno lifting the ball up is to hand it to Genty left or right, and same thing with Mostert. I don't want to see him passing the ball because I don't trust him passing the ball. I don't think anybody does. And I agree with Dixon. A different quarterback would help too. That's another way to fix the red zone issues.
I think our quarterback situation is kind of it's printed and stamped. We're not changing. That's not going to change, minus an injury. I don't think. And that's
Donuts is right too. Betch needs to be more involved. He was involved last week a little bit more. He had 3 catches. Prior to that, he had 2 all season. He had 3 catches in 1 game.
Yep.
Yeah, and coach is right too. That finesse shit ain't going to beat anybody. We just got to be aggressive, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That's why they need to stop with the small linemen. Yeah, exactly. What's up, early riser? What's going on, brother? A foot needs to be near the accelerator pedal. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, so nice play on words there, accelerator.
So lame. That was so bad.
You're better than that. That was...
If we do an outside stretch runs, we need big receivers on the perimeters to throw blocks. And we don't have that.
But you don't need big receivers. You just need guys that want to do their job.
Yeah, but
I've seen small receivers. I've seen Steve Smith block. You don't have to be big and physical. You just got to want to do it.
Steve Smith had a little bit of a muscular build to him. Thornton is like a toothpick out there. There ain't nothing to that kid.
Bro, he's 6'4", 215.
Steve Smith was one of my favorite wide receivers
ever
played for the Raiders.
And he's built like a straw man. I could do that to him, and I'll find out.
But he's 215 pounds. Tell me a corner that's 215 pounds.
Well, I'm not. It's not the weight. He doesn't have those cornerbacks probably bench press more than he does.
That might be true. I mean, like that, Jason, you might be right. I don't know. I mean, like, but some receivers, it depends on what they're doing in the weight room.
His wrists are like the size of my two fingers. I mean, he's got tiny little arms. His calves are like this big. I mean,
have you seen the way that corners are built, bro? They're not built like a thick old boy. Corners are built just like stick figures as well. You got to be a flyer, man. You got to be able to 172, 195. I'd be like, that's what his corner weight is. What 172, right in there.
Some of the best cornerbacks were 210, 215.
So, hold on. Raider Nation 510 says Trey Tucker and Kobe shouldn't be in the red zone. Trey Tucker is the only one that's been scoring for us as a receiver. Granted, two of them were kind of garbage time. I mean, Will and I saw a touchdown right in front of us at the Patriots game. I mean,
this is why he's saying that, Jeff. It's because it's the height. When you get down in the red zone, you need taller, bigger bodies.
Small. Yeah, all right.
I can see that.
That's why he's saying. That's why he's saying when you get down in the you remember Andre Holmes. We had Andre Holmes and Crabtree. You had that height, that size to box out because just like Will was saying, these cornerbacks are like 6 foot, 185 pounds or whatever. Well, put that receiver out there that's 6'4", 225 that can actually box out. Dante Thornton, he can't play basketball down in the paint. He's got to play out in the 3-point.
No, that has to be taught.
Yeah, he got no muscle. He got no ass, as 805 would say.
Even if you just box out, I'd be like, even if you just boxed out like in basketball,
but he doesn't.
They're not taught. He doesn't. Yeah,
he doesn't.
Marcus Banks on his membership for 3 months. He says it's great to be back, Raider Nation. We missed you, man. I'm glad you're back, and I'm glad you're healthy and you're doing well. So, appreciate
my second favorite Titans fan.
He said my second favorite.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that too, brother.
Sacktown.
Where are we? Why would they try shorter at tight end? Dude is big enough to catch jump balls and throw blocks.
Yeah.
You guys need a good third down. You guys need a good third down offense in order to have a good red zone offense, and not third down offense. Yeah, it's true. Our efficiency.
Third down efficiency is horrible. Horrible. And that's where an athletic quarterback comes in handy too, because you do a naked bootleg or a rollout, a fake handoff rollout, and you get out on the outside to isolate that defender. That defender's got to go either I tackle the quarterback or I drop back to cover the receiver type situation.
Yeah.
But Geno's athletic. That's the thing. Geno has some sort of athleticism, and we're not using it. This is where I'm like, man, how did the Commanders come in running zone read and whoop the dog shit out of us? Running zone read, basically, with Marcus Mariota, going back to Chip Kelly's old college playbook.
Yeah.
We can't do none of that.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
So, moving on to the next segment. We're only on segment 2. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So we all know that Cam Ward is supposedly mobile. This came up on Wednesday night. It came up last night. Leo brought it up in the chat, saying that Cam Ward's a mobile quarterback. Well, I went and looked it up. He's not as mobile as you think he is. He's got like 13 carries for like 36 yards on the season. That's not mobile. This past game that the Titans played, he had negative 6 yards rushing. All right. So he's not as mobile. He might have been mobile in college, but not in the pros. He's not. So
he hasn't done it yet. Yeah.
So
no.
Can we say it like this though?
Hold on. I got questions for you. Don't jump ahead, Johnny. Jump ahead.
Jump ahead.
No, because you were talking about his mobility, but I mean,
I know we're getting to that. That's the whole point of it. Even with his
the sunglasses are on.
And his talent, the Titans offense still runs through Pollard, Spears, and obviously Ridley and Lockett. Jason, do you blitz early or do you play contain to force him to to read? Because he is still a rookie. Does he still fully read defenses the right way?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
That's why I asked you.
No, he does. He can't. He still kind of had a difficult time reading an NFL defense. So, I mean, you live and die by the blitz. If you're going to get blitz heavy with them, there's coaches on the other side that can figure out, okay, we're just going to put them in a different situation where, because we're going to be forced to go man over if we start blitzing. And what's that going to do? It's going to leave Caillou Blue Kelly one-on-one man coverage with Calvin Ridley.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? I could throw it fucking left-handed with my left arm underhanded and get it to him in that situation. So you live and die by the sword. If you send that 5 and 6 up the gut, they better get home.
Mm-hmm.
Better get home, because that kid he's still talented, and he's shown flashes this year. But we're the Raiders, and usually what happens when people play the Raiders, they kind of get their shit together and play right. So as far as I'm not a real big fan of the blitz per se. I mean, I'm okay with the fifth man delay every once in a while, just kind of keep that offensive line honest. But it's you got to get 4-man pressures, especially when you got Max Crosby. If you can't get 4-man pressure with Max Crosby, then fuck it. Just let him do his thing. Let Cam Ward just do his thing.
So we got a message from segment number 3, which is the next segment. When are you slowpokes going to finally get to me? Your viewers can't stay awake all night. So, Will.
Quit putting our viewers to sleep, Will.
Who's the defensive key in this case, though? Is it Crosby? Is it Wilson? Or is it a DB? Or is it one of our linebacks?
The one game record we have is Max Crosby. Yeah. Max Crosby is our big X factor. If he has a great game, provides pressure, just like Jason was saying, without us having a blitz, then we're going to have the ability to sit back, confuse a young quarterback with disguised coverages, with a lot more things, guys in the second, or covering up more space, in the secondary. So, I mean, honestly, Max Crosby has to have a hell of a game. He has to be the guy that isn't getting fooled on zone reads. I mean, he has to play disciplined and has to be big-time plays. We have to get turnovers this game. Turnovers are a must. Whoever wins the turnover battle will win this game. And I think Max Crosby is a big part of that.
Well, this is a question for both of you then on this point. If Ward breaks the pocket, what's the adjustments we need to make? Who you expect to be able to chase him down? Because he is fast.
Mm-hmm.
If he breaks that pocket, this could be the game that he turns around and becomes a running quarterback, for this game. There's a good chance. Do we have that guy that can chase him down or can contain him? That's the big question, is being able to contain him.
How about tackling him in open field? Because he's a big mofo. He's not.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying
he's built. So in essence, the scheme that Patrick Graham should be implementing is going to be a lot similar to what we used when we played the Patriots.
Ooh.
Is you're going to have to let him come up the middle. Don't if you can get pressure up the middle, fine. But give him a false read to where he thinks he could take off, and then one of the two linebackers have to come up and close and limit him to either a negative yardage or minimal positive yardage. So the get him up to the line of scrimmage, see if he can make mistakes at the line of scrimmage running upfield, because some young quarterbacks a lot of times they get to moving, they get out of the pocket or whatever, they start getting, I could do the whatever, I could throw it here or throw it there across my body, across the field. Make him make mistakes is the big thing. Put him in a position where he's going to make mistakes, and that should benefit us. And we're the suckiest team when it comes to interceptions. Let's get a couple picks tomorrow. Come on, just a couple, please.
I mean, that's the thing. You want to be able to hopefully rattle him with our pressure from our D line and from Kuntz, and Kuntz needs to show up. Kuntz and Crosby. Let me ask you this then: do you think we can possibly shut down Pollard on those check down passes to him? Do you think we can? We've got the right setup to handle that. Will?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, you want me to answer the first one or the second question?
You can answer both.
Okay. So the first question, the first thing I would do is make sure that if you're in your scheme, if your defensive ends have to hold contain, that has to be communicated. And you have to let them know, hey, you have to keep the contain. Now, if he keeps busting contain and getting outside the pocket, put a spy on him. It's very simple. Spy him. Put an app, and we have Jamal Adams, who can absolutely pursue that dude from sideline to sideline, can make tackles in the open space and do what he needs to do. With Pollard in the check down situation, right? That's where you have to confuse the quarterback with your coverage. You got to run some cover 2, got to run some cover 3, some man to man, some mixed coverages, and you have to disguise it. Stop being so plain Jane and start being a little bit more aggressive. I'll be like, yeah, we have to rattle Cam. Once he gets rattled, then you'll see erratic throws just like every other rookie quarterback. He'll start using his feet more. He'll start trying to run more out of the pocket because that's what he wants to do in order to secure first downs. That's when you start spying him. You start using different defensive tactics in order to take away things. We are not taking away anything. We're giving every single team anything they want. Patrick Graham has to decide what he wants to take away, and he has to live with it and come up with a game plan for, hey, if he's concerned about not being able to contain him, then you better have a game plan for it, and you better have a spy, and you have the guys to do it.
Accelerator. He may be on one of the other 2 or 3 channels. That's probably why, because there's other channels combined in here. So there's 4 channels that have a chat. So it's mine, Jason's, Will's, and Chris. Chris's channel's up too. So that might be why. We don't have many defensive tactics at our disposal. We really don't.
But here's the thing. We do have, like any defensive tactic you have, you have defensive tactics. You can move things. I mean, like in any defense, you can shift guys around. You can look at things. But the thing is, we don't have any defensive creativity right now. We're not bringing any pressure. We're playing soft coverage. Mm-hmm. We're playing too scared.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. When you play scared, you play cushion coverage. You give up, hey, on 3rd and 18, you give up first downs. We got to live by the sword and die by the sword. We're not a bend, don't break defense. We are a live by the sword, die by the sword defense. We got to either get it or we're going to get crushed.
So I guess we move on to segment 3. Segment 3, if you're still in the chat, here you go, buddy. You're up.
Yeah.
So now we're getting into the X factors and more of the matchups. And again, there's always those players that each team has, those swing players that decide who's going to be the X factor in this. So we're going to go with Will first. Who's our offensive X factor? Who makes the difference for us this
Interior
week?
offensive line will make the difference this week. I don't have one. I'm going with the interior offensive line as a group.
Okay.
Because they have Justin Simmons.
I'll give you that. I can give you that.
Justin Simmons is lined up across the way. He is the Titans' freaking biggest machine, and he can wreck our game from the inside out. If the inside 3 dominate and are able to move people off the ball, that means we're running the football. That means we're being successful. So that's why they're my X factor. So I'll go with for one main guy, it's going to be JPJ.
So let me just bring up Arnie's question. Who is the X factor on offense and defense with Brock out and cutting Pratt? So you're saying the offensive line. Jason, what would you pick for the offense? X factor.
I'm gonna piggyback off of him. Our run game. Our run game has to be the X factor tomorrow because I know, and the 50 other million people know that we ain't gonna get it done with the right arm of Geno Smith. Okay, we're at that point now and in the season that we're just gonna have to showcase Genty, bring in Mozart as a backup cleanup hitter type player, and just start getting downhill, and hopefully, because I don't know, watching JPJ play, he loves to go downhill and hit people. He likes to get downhill and hit people. Let's take advantage of it. Let's get downhill. Let's hit people. I even saw Parham last week on occasion knock people off the ball, and it was impressive. I was like, okay, we got to continue to do that.
They must have been looking the other way then, because that game was not. They were either looking the other way or it was a cheap shot and he hit them off balance or something. That's the way I could see him.
No, he actually had a couple of really good drive blocks. He had one that Genty only got about a 3-4 yard gain, but that was more Genty's fault because Parham had the guy off the ball and the guy was looking in the backfield and he just guessed where Genty was going and made the tackle. Yeah. Had he guessed wrong, Genty would still be running.
So Gio says X factor on offense. He's got Michael Mayer. Okay. Dixon Titus is Genty. Yeah. Donut says X factor is punt and kick coverage. Can't kick this. We're going to cover special teams too. We're going to get that's separate.
That's going to be an X factor. That's going to be an X factor. He's not wrong.
We're talking offense and defense. We just did offense, so now we're going to ask you both the same question in the chat. Who's our X factor on defense?
Yeah.
And if you both say Max Crosby, I'm going to reach through and smack you both. That's such an obvious answer.
Max Crosby.
He should be the X factor no matter what. He should be the alpha man, the alpha out there. Pick me someone else that you think can step up and be that guy. Max, that's too easy of an answer. That's like saying who's going to be the best guy in the offense for the Patriots during their dynasty. Oh, Tom Brady. That's so easy. Pick someone else. Making it difficult for you.
Well, you go ahead.
So if you're saying that, our 1A, because, we said Max Crosby's are definitely X factor.
Now you're cheating. Just pick someone else other than Max Crosby. Pretend Max Crosby's not even going to play in this game.
No. I said 1A. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like our next star, our next guy that really has to have a big game. And I'm going to tell you who has to have a big game in order for Max to have a big game. It's going to be Booker, our interior defensive lineman. Whoever's lined up right on the next side of Crosby has to have a big game. They have to create penetration. They have to create double team. They have to create so much havoc that they're taking on double teams for Max. That's what I see. I'm like, we have to get another guy that's going to stop the run game. I'd be like, you have to get Pollard. And when you do that, the most immediate point of impact is your defensive tackle. So for me, the next X factor would have to be our defensive tackle. That they have to stop Pollard in the run game.
What about that guy right there? Jason, you think that guy is going to be the X factor on defense?
Mike Oxnell.
My cock small. Play on words. Are you done, Will? Will,
yeah, I've been done.
Okay. All right, Jeff, you done?
Yeah, his cock's small.
Who's your X factor on defense that's not named Max Crosby?
It's tough. Devin White.
Oh, agreed.
Devin. I'm going to throw two. I'm actually going to go Devin White and Adams because we're going to have to rely on them heavily to contain that pocket, especially if it opens up the mid. If for some reason our interior line, they're getting a push through the B gap, but the A gap parts like the Red Sea every time. So if they can get pressure up the middle and push it into the lap of Cam Ward, then that's great because now you're playing right into that I think number 98, whatever his name is, 98. That plays right into his hand.
What's up, money truck?
Whoever that guy is.
That guy.
That guy with a bunch of tattoos. Yeah.
But when it comes down to the total commitment and containment of what the Titans about, the only thing the Titans are really successful at is their run game and the short middle of the field, because Cam Ward hasn't really started to dial up the outside. Now, let's say tomorrow all of a sudden he's rolling out and he's throwing missiles all over Allegiant Stadium. Then those corners, and look for Darian Porter to play more tomorrow. It's going to be important for him to stick to be disciplined, stick to what he knows, and don't overthink it, and just play, do your job. But my X factors on defense are going to be Devin White with the carry along of Adams.
All right. I agree with Kenny. I'm thinking Adam Butler's he's got to put that pressure up the middle. He's got to get that pressure on Ward, disrupt him as much as possible. This is his time to step up again too. I'm going with Butler. And Money Chuck too. He said on X factor on defense, Kuntz. He goes, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm not either because I haven't seen shit from Kuntz. He has been like almost a non-factor, and I don't get it.
He'll show up in Kansas City.
Oh, hey, at least if he
seems to be the only time he ever really produces is when we play Kansas City.
100%. That's what it feels like right now.
Dixon Slater said Jeremy Pratt. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm not bueno. Said Blue Kelly needs to step up.
Yep.
Accelerated said X Factor is going to be Jason Down. His cheering or booing will make the difference.
1,000%.
You're killing me, Accelerator. You're killing me.
Darian Porter is playing well and goes unnoticed.
Yep, 100%.
Yep.
DKim is healthy too now. Let him get some run. Yeah, true. Got to get him in the mix somehow.
Yep.
Keeping with this theme with the factors and matchups, the Titans' threat that scares you both the most, is it Simmons, Ridley, or Pollard? Jason, you can go first, as though you put your finger up.
Finally, I'm gonna go first. Fucking wheel.
You're not first or last, fucker.
Yeah, well,
take a bake.
In this room, you're the first loser too.
Oh,
I will. All right, so the choices are Simmons, Ridley, or Pollard. I'm going to go Pollard. Pollard's going to be more of a
Simmons, Ridley, or Pollard.
Yeah, Pollard scares me the most. He scares me the most. If the Titans had a quarterback, now I'm not saying Cam Ward's a bad quarterback, but he hasn't really come along like everybody thought he would be by this time of the season. That all could change tomorrow. He's playing the Raiders. Fuck, who knows? But Ridley would be my number one if they had somebody that can literally carve us to death. But I'm going to go with Pollard, and I hope I'm right, because if it is Ridley, oh my God, it's going to be a long day. Will, your turn.
Yeah.
I already said it before, man. The Titans really have one game record. Pollard is a great running back, but he's not the biggest X factor on that team.
Who?
Because, yeah. For me, it's Simmons. Up front. You can't take care of him, bro. We can't do anything. I'd be like, think about it. What's the quickest way to the quarterback?
through Meredith.
Bro. So I'd be like, hey, and right now where's our weakest spot? Where's the weakest spot on the whole team?
Nah.
Where's their biggest, baddest? Just big, sexy mamba jamma ready to kill people right at that spot. So, yeah, that's where I'm looking at it, man. That's why it scares me to death. I'll be like, honestly, if you collapse the pocket from the inside out, Geno Smith is going to be in a world of hurt. I don't care what Genty does. I'll be like, if you're meeting him at the point of impact when you're running the football, I'm like, it's game over.
So who is?
Huh?
No, I'm just looking at something here because somebody said A Minor.
Luminor?
No, A Minor, whatever.
I am Minor. I think that's not. Hey, don't specify. I've seen this kid. What's his specific position?
He's wide receiver.
Yeah, I know. Slot X Y.
Oh, I don't know. They just list him on the depth chart as wide receiver. I'm not privy to all the comings and goings of the Tennessee Titans.
His comings and goings. He's athletic.
It's funny that Dixon says this. Watch us be Cam Ward's get right game, and then bang, next chat message is Money saying, I think Ward uses his legs tomorrow, runs for 60 yards. And he very well could against us. That's a definite. And you know how I see it happening? When Max takes that wide outside swing to get to the quarterback, and then he decides that I'm going to cut it inside between my tackle and my guard because Max is getting pushed all the way out running a marathon to get to me, and I'm just going to cut it right between them two, and I'm going to blast for like 10, 15 yards or plus at a shot. And I think that's how he does it. So Bill M says the X factor of this game should be Raheem Mostert. Could be.
Yeah.
My question, who's going to fuck up?
Can I answer this question? Can I answer that question?
What, the fuck up one?
Yeah. Who's going to fuck the equipment manager for handing out all the jerseys and helmets. That's who's going to fuck up.
What's up, Diesel? Welcome in, brother. Welcome in. So, again, we've been on for an hour now. I appreciate everybody sticking in here with us. We're at 35 strong in the chat still. Make sure you guys get over to each channel, hit that like, hit the subscribe, hit the notifications. We've got Jason's channel, which is Raiders1st Downs. Then you've got me. I'm 401 Raider Jeff. Next to me is Raider Will. His channel is Silver and Black Podcast. Chris 4 Raiders is not here with us tonight, but he is streaming for his channel. It's Chris 4 Raiders. He's actually in a car on his way to Vegas. He should pretty much almost be there by now. He did pop in real quick before we started the show tonight from the car he was riding in. So
he's got a handful.
He's going to Allegiant for his first time, so he's excited. So
he's probably listening to this show, and it's got a handful of blue pills right now on the strip, looking to score.
Radiation 510 says should Parham or JPJ at center? No and no. JPJ is right where he should be at this point. Don't put him at center. I think he's better at guard for sure. That he's where he needs to be. Yeah, it's the Titans. It's their rookie wide receiver, A Minor.
Yeah.
I knew who he was talking about. You obviously didn't.
Yeah.
Deal said it's time to get hyped up.
That's why you're the superstar.
He's an outside wide receiver, and he's from Stanford, and he is very fast.
Yeah, I remember when he played at Stanford. But
What's up with the people?
Moved him inside to slot or not.
Let's see. Unless we press man defense or mix up formations, he is their number 2. Let's see. Ken Johnson, Tom Brady just told me that he's not in charge of draft picks, only head coach jobs. Searching that something is coming. A change is coming. Really?
No, I wouldn't. I'm not.
Okay. Yeah.
That.
Unless he's got somebody dialed up, ready to go.
Well, if Chris jumps on the field and goes streaking, it's going to be the slowest streaker in the history of the NFL because he walks with a cane, so it ain't going to be that much of a streak. It's going to be more like a.
But if he jumps down out of the bleachers, I could just see Chris.
The security guards aren't even going to chase him. That's how slow it'll be.
They're just
not
going to
even
look
chase
at him, bro. They're
They're
just going to
just
stare at him.
The old guy on the chain gang's going to throw his chain out there and wrap it around his leg, pull him back off.
Donut Stunker said Tyler Lockett is their slot wide receiver.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
We'll start a GoFundMe to bail Chris out.
I got $1.50 super chat on that one.
All right, so now we're going to get it. We're still talking X factors and matchups. So now we're going to talk a little bit of special teams here.
All right, Dixon Cider.
We're kind of in the similar situation with both teams. We've got a kicker that's damaged goods right now, but it looks like AJ Cole is going to play. Okay, so he is going to punt. Carlson is okay; he's not injured, but their kicker is out. Sly. So now they're going to have an issue with their kicking game, but our issue is not with our kickers. Our issue is with our coverage team and our blocking on our extra points and field goals. How in God's name do we correct? I'm not worried about the blocking part. I'm more worried about the coverage team on punts and kickoffs. How do we fix that? What's your take on fixing that shit? Start with Jason.
All right. Kick the fucking ball out of bounds. Don't let 17 run it back on a punt return. Because most likely you're going to outkick the damn coverage. He's going to be fielding the ball and be 10 yards upfield before our gunners can even get to him. So just kick it out of bounds. A 50-yard punt out of bounds or a 45-yard punt out of bounds is just as good as anything else. You take that aspect of their game, what they're good at, take that away from them. All right. Now let's get to I'm going to go to the kicking game because this is special teams, right? I'm going to go to the kicking game. So our punt block, right? Our punt block and extra point block has been shitty, right? Okay. What is the common denominator of why it hasn't been good since the Washington game or Chicago and then last week? Just because that right side is usually manned by Meyers on the block or the punt team and the field goal team.
I thought it was the left side where the penetration came from.
It was right. No, it's the right side. Well, our right side.
Yeah, I thought it was our left side. I thought it was on the left tackle side.
No, you watch that pump block last week. You watched number 80 on the right side. That on the outside, he's got the outside leverage, and he just whiffed. I think that Ian Thomas. He just whiffed. It was a look out. That's all he could do was yell look out.
Sure, he'd just get the old ole.
Yeah.
So you're saying the main reason is because Meyers wasn't out there. So you think that will change this week because he'll be back out there. But is he going to be out there, though?
Yeah.
Because he's the number one tight end now. You wouldn't put Brock Bowers out there, so you're going to put him out there with the chance of him to get injured again on punt and kickoffs? I mean, field goals?
I don't know. I mean, you're trying to win a game, right?
Yeah.
And we've had problems on the right side of our special teams. Now, would I put him out? Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but Max has actually been on pump block a few times.
No, I haven't.
You haven't noticed that?
I noticed that.
Yeah, he's probably got about it.
Like when we're receiving the punts?
Yeah. So they put him in when they want to go pump block or light pump block or medium pump block, where they're going to not send everybody, but they want to send somebody. You'll see him out there, and he's right in the middle, lined up between the guard and tackle. Huh?
You know why?
Yeah, because he's got like a 55-foot wingspan.
Thank you. Yeah. So he can jump too. So you add the height to that now too on top of that. So yeah, that's definitely why.
You know your Raider history. Who was one of the all-time greatest at blocking extra points on field goals? That was a Raider.
Ted Hendricks.
Thank you. Yeah. And what did he have? He had a 54-foot wingspan.
Yeah, he was like 6'7". He was a monster.
Yeah.
He was tall as shit. I stood next to him. I got a picture of him and I together, and I look up at him, and I'm 6 feet. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So
I'm 6. Yeah. So anyways, bottom line, if we have to play him out there, then it's going to be one of those deals. Is like you guys need to get down there and tackle so he doesn't have to. Okay, but we need him to help block because we're pretty limited on the people that are good enough to block.
So Donuts Duncan, is that the player he's talking about? Don't kick it to that you said, Jason?
Yes. Yes.
Shamari Dyke. It's just funny. I love that name.
I think it's Jamuri, yeah.
So are you done, Jason?
No. I still got another hour.
Go ahead, Will. I'm telling him he's done. Go ahead, Will.
Oh, I love it. I love it, man. I love bullshitting with you guys. So, we're talking special teams, right? Are we only talking specifically our special teams or how to handle their special teams as well?
No, it's matchups with special teams. So it's like I said, I brought it up that their kick is out, so they're going with a backup kicker.
So with their kicker, or like the way that we handled that is to try to get them into long distance field goal situations, but time consuming that makes it uncomfortable for the kicker to come out there and get a kick, right? That's the real goal there, to put him in those pressure situations. For our special teams is, fuck, man, can we just get back to the basics? I'd be like, when you look at it, right? Can guys stay in their lane when we go down on kickoff? Can they stay in their lane and be disciplined and not run out of bounds and like fight to stay in bounds and just try to do the right thing? Special teams doesn't require this freaking great athlete or this guy that's like super intelligent. It requires guys to do their fucking job. But maybe the problem is that Pete Carroll thinks that games is practice. Maybe he's trying to get special teams reps during the game. But whatever it is, what we need to do is fix that functionality part on special teams, especially on kickoff, to just run your lanes, be disciplined, do the right thing, and get your ass down there and get to the fucking football.
Maybe that's why Max is out there on those on punts too, punt returns, because if he doesn't play special teams, he might get sat for a game or two like Mostert did, or get cut from the team like Pratt did.
Yeah. There's also some people that are willing to do whatever it takes to help the team out too.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And if I went up to Max and said, "Hey, I need you on field goal block and punt block in the middle," he'd be like, "Hell yeah! You're the power forward. You can dunk it. You got, you're like Karl Malone on a football field." I'm gonna put this in a little bit of a perspective here. Okay. What did Marcus say? Special teams will be important in this game. Remember who said it. Yes. And here's why I'm gonna put that in perspective. So this kid, this Matthew Wright, right? He's been in the league 4 years. All right, actually since 2020. He started with Pittsburgh. He played in 3 games. 2021, he was with Jacksonville, 14 games. Then 22, he went back to Pittsburgh, kicked in 6 games. 2023, he was with Carolina for 1 game. 2024, Tennessee, 5 games. So he hasn't even played yet this year. So he's coming in not having played for anybody. He's got no stats whatsoever for this season. Okay. So he's played in a total of 29 games. He's got 63 field goal attempts, 55 made. His longest is 59, and that was in 2022 with Pittsburgh. So he's not obviously that good because he's obviously a journeyman, or he's a filler for teams that have a kicker out. And in this case, Tennessee has a kicker that's hurt because he's got a calf injury. So they brought him in because they're familiar with him because they had him before. So this guy could technically be rusty. He hasn't been in game time situation at all this season. So that could be a bigger factor than you think. And that's why Marcus is saying this. It'll be important this game. I think there's a chance that we could take advantage of this. His timing may be off. He's not going to have that time with the snap, the long snapper and the holder, because everybody knows, anybody that knows anything about football,
that holder and that long snapper are so important to who's kicking that ball that if one of them fuck up, it's over. The play's not going to happen. If the holder doesn't get the laces in the right direction, if the long snap is a little bit off on his snap, this is a guy that hasn't played at all this year. So timing is everything, just like early Riser just said. So this could be a factor. This could actually work in our favor, obviously. So this would be interesting to see what happens with the kicking game. We're obviously a little bit better, well-oiled machine when it comes to the kicking game as far as our kickers, our holders, and our snappers, except for Bob and Meyer with his telltale signs on when he's ready to snap the ball. What's up, Shot Key? Good to see you here, brother. We can start calling him Pete Careful because he's being careful to a fault. So, yeah, I think the kicking game could be a big deal. So we're going to move on to the next segment now. So it's discipline, coaching, and momentum. So turnovers, penalties, poor adjustments. We did a horrible job with adjusting at halftime during that Titans game. There was like nothing. Nothing changed from the first half to the second half. And it was evident. They've haunted us. Pete and Chip, they need to answer for this, basically. So, Jason, I'm going to go with you on this one. How much is coaching versus player execution? Like how much does that mean in a game versus the coaching itself, or is it the player execution that's causing the issues?
I think it's a combination of both. But if you look at our roster, the youth and whatnot, the total picture, and how many new faces and new bodies we have, minus the 4 guys on the offensive line. Actually, 5 guys. All 5 of those guys have been with us for the last 2 to 3 years. So I hear this, they got a jail or whatever. No, they've been together. They should be performing at a good rate. So overall, the discipline in and of itself, or the coaching. Let's start with coaching. Coaching has to start putting our players in the right position and making the right decisions so they could be successful. And I truly believe that they need to do a better job at that. Secondly, the players need to execute the plays, be consistent to give the coaches more confidence to move forward with better ideas and better schemes. Because when you look at our defensive scheme and you look at our offensive scheme and people bitch and complain about them being vanilla, and I know, we've talked about this. Is it the coaches or is it the players? Because if it's the player, I could tell you, good coaches sometimes will recognize, and 805, Coach Gravy, all you guys, even Will, you coach too, that sometimes you get a group of guys that you go, I can't run those plays, or I can't run that type of defense because the players that I have can't execute it to that level. So I have to stick to some of the basics. Okay. And that includes Geno, who's, 35 years old, been in the NFL forever, lots of experience. There's no excuse for that shit. So he needs to either sack up or say, you know what? Why don't you guys go ahead and put Pickett in? Go ahead and put Pickett in, because I just say I ain't getting it done. Discipline, momentum is everything in a football game. Momentum transfers from on each side of the field, whether it be special teams, defense, or offense. A key turnover deep in the positive side of the field, and you turn around, you put 7 points on the board with that. Okay, not a 3 bonehead plays and then kick a field goal. Okay. And I'm going to go back to it again, just like I predicted last week. I'm going to say it again this week. We don't need a freaking 11-minute, 19-play drive to get us just 3 points, because that's ain't doing. You're
waste of time.
You're cheating yourself out of an additional possession, if not 2 possessions later in the game. Okay, and you did nothing. Now, what did the Colts do? The Colts go, all right, well, you guys went all the shoot. Here's 14 points. Bam. Now it's 14-3. Now it's like, what? Now what are you going to do? So you haven't showed that you could be explosive. Let's be explosive. We were explosive in the first game. Let's be explosive. Let's get the, I'm not saying chuck the ball down the field 100 times, but let's be explosive. Let's get Genty going. Let's, if we can rush for 250 yards and not turn the damn ball over, we should walk away with a win. What do you say, fellas?
What? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
No. It's like I was waiting to go with one. You just were sitting there staring at the screen. I'm like, all right.
Like a Baptist preacher up here preaching. Y'all just sitting there watching.
I felt like I was at church.
Yeah.
Will, if we start off slow, what's the adjustments you want to see us make? Like if we start off on offense slow.
If we start on offense slow and we're struggling, I want to see some offensive creativity. I want to see some play action. I want to see some zone read. I want to see some RPO. I want to see something that is going to be out of the box that brings this team to life. I'm tired of seeing the same old thing, man. I'm tired of seeing, hey, let's just be in shotgun. I'm tired of seeing just shitty football. I mean, I want things to look like, and that's the hard part, right? I can't really say, hey, this one thing will give us the solution because we have so many issues. I'll be but the one thing that I will like to say that I think will spice things up is getting the ball to Michael Mayer. Using our tight end in tight situations in order to get, hey, maybe we're on 3rd and 4. Now you have another option to get the guy the football. So, I think, getting the ball to Michael Mayer, distributing to our playmakers, being creative and getting them the ball in open spaces in creative ways. I'd be that's really what I'm looking for.
So again, this is still a coaching discipline and adjustments. It's a question for both of you. Who needs to step up as a leader inside that locker room besides Max? It can't always be him. Remember that. Someone else needs to step up. Now, granted, he did call a players-only meeting yesterday. We discussed this last night at the start of the Friday Night Live show. He did call a players-only meeting yesterday, and he said he plans on doing that every Friday for the rest of the season. So if it's not him stepping up, who else would be the next natural leader out of this organization, out of this team in the locker room? Who would you like to see, or who do you think it should be?
Jason, go ahead.
It should be Geno Smith. It should be Geno Smith. But
What's up, Ernest?
But it can be Jakobi Meyers on the offense. I'm talking offenses. We'll just start with the offense cycle. It can be Jakobi Meyers. He's a very respectable person. People respect him. If he stepped up a little bit more and took onus of the leadership position, that could be. But and I know, and I've talked about it before, is your leadership comes with down the middle of the field. So where's Meredith in this situation? He's the center, right? Where's his leadership? Okay. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Where's Landon Robinson and Devin White with their leadership? Now, Devin White's been playing pretty good, but I'm talking from a leadership standpoint, making sure everybody's being held accountable, and not going over to the side of the bench and chewing people out because they missed a play, but doing like some of the all-time greats, Hall of Fame status type players, when they would go to the sideline, it's like, hey, let's just play football. I think JPJ is, I do, but I don't know if the vets really buy into him. We do.
Well, I got to agree with Donuts, though, what he's saying, though. It seems like it should be JPJ is that guy, but he's right, though. The coaches keep cock blocking him. They keep shooting the kid down. They keep making him feel like he's not good enough. It's evident that they don't think that, or that they think that based on how they treated him this season so far.
Yeah. Which is unusual. I don't understand a lot of it. There's got to be a reason, and there's something has happened or did happen that has caused this. And none of us, we can all speculate, and ain't nobody out here got any fucking sources, so don't be throwing that I got sources bullshit. Okay? Because but if you have experienced being on teams or organization, and it could be any organization, it could be your employment, if you're in a booster club or something like that, sometimes it could just be one incident that caused that, and now it's irreparable. That situation in of itself, now it's irreparable going down the road. At least for this season. Things can change once they hit the reset button after January. It turns on the sprinkler.
Gio's. He goes, I hope maintenance at Allegiant turns on the sprinklers so Geno can have a week one type performance because he played in the rain. So just put the maintenance workers up in the if there's catwalks up there, and just have them out there with hoses spraying a mist down on the field. That's pretty much what it was like in New England. Just everything was wet, but it was just a constant mist coming down. Will, what's your feeling on that?
Go ahead, Will.
Oh man, so I am 100% in agreement that the guy that on offense needs to step up and just become a leader. And I love what Jason said, right? Geno should be the leader. But man, this is pathetic. I'd be like, with the product that you're putting out, you really can't lead with that product, right? I'd be like, JPJ. JPJ just needs to walk around there with his fucking big cojones hanging out and say, dude, I'm going to take over this offensive line. Colton Miller is down. We need a guy up front that is going to have some intestinal fortitude and take some responsibility up front for those guys. And unfortunately, I don't see anybody else that even has that type of capabilities. Right? Yeah. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah. Sorry, guys. My dog he's 17 years old, so he gets really old and he's blind and fussy and freaking no teeth, all this other stuff, right? So just getting older. But on defense,
holding me in your arms right now. I'm old, missing some teeth, old and cranky. Yeah,
bro. Ain't nobody holding you in their arms, Jeff.
I'm blind.
They'd have a hernia in 10 seconds if they tried to hold you.
Yeah, I'll be like, he even got his little Raiders jersey on and everything.
Yeah, I got one of those for my Siamese cat.
Yeah, but I got a Yorkie. It was annoying, but I love him.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'm right there with you. But on defense, Jeremy Chin, where are you at? You were a high-priced free agent that came here that was supposed to be a leader that can lead people. Caster, stop.
Oh, sorry to hear that, Bill.
But I'd be like, you're supposed to be a leader. You came over here. You're a free agent. You're probably one of the best players on this team. Where's your voice? Where's your voice in the secondary? We need a guy that's going to lead our secondary. Be that Marcus Epps. Be that guy that controls the backside of our defense and says, hey, man, line up correctly. Do the right thing. Line up here. Do this, do that. We don't have that this year. And you can see it in our defense, and you can see that it's lacking. So that's why I'm saying Jeremy Chin needs to step up.
I'm going to say a name that nobody's mentioned, not even in the chat. Now, I'm kind of shocked. On defense,
Max Crosby.
Adam Butler, where the fuck is his voice in all this? Why is he not out there as your big, beefy defensive tackle? Like, play the Christian Wilkins part in this. Wilkins was very vocal when he was here. He needs to be that guy. He needs to be that other voice on that front line on the defense. On the defensive side, I think it needs to be him, too. You get two of your best defensive tackle or best defensive front guys up there talking their talk between him and Max. The rest of the defense will freaking listen. On the offensive side, everybody in the chat said it, and you guys have said it. It should be Geno, because usually your quarterback is your main voice. And I will say this: I think that was one of the things that AOC had when he was our quarterback. He had that voice. Whether people listen to him or not, it's another story. But he seemed like a leader out there. I'm sorry, But as far as someone that's on our offense right now, I mean, Brock Bowers maybe, but does he have enough clout right now? I mean, he's only been here for a year and a half.
Brock's not a vocal person.
Same thing with JPJ. JPJ's only been here a year and a half. Could it be Michael Mayer? Could be.
Bowers isn't a vocal person.
No, and that's what I'm getting at. Jakobi, yeah, probably. But in all honesty, if you're looking at your offense, it should be Colton Miller. He's your starting left tackle. He's the longest tenured offensive member of this team.
I agree with you.
Outside of Max, it's him and Max are the two guys that are still. I mean,
but he's injured.
Granted, yeah, I know that, but he still can be there. He can still have a say in the team. He can still be that vocal leader, whether you're injured or not. But
I agree with that.
Yeah, but hold on. Even before he got injured, he wasn't, because that's not his type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You never hear him post anything on X, Twitter, whatever, Instagram, any of that shit. He's that quiet leader, So you don't know what he is in the locker room, but it should be somebody like him.
Miller's like Bowers. He's not a vocal person. Donut said it best. He's not. Miller leads by example, not by.
But that's just it. We've got a rudderless ship right now. We've got no one at the helm on the offense side. We really don't. It should be Geno, and it's not.
It should be.
Because I don't think anybody's got the confidence in him and how he's been playing this season. Yeah. When you're sitting there throwing as many interceptions in as few games as we've already played, how can anybody have any faith in what this guy's going to say, especially after this past week's press conference where he's blaming everybody but himself? I'm not going to listen to that jackass if I was in that locker room. I'd be like, are you shitting me? Why the hell am I going to listen to this guy? He's blaming everybody else but himself. He's not even taking his own responsibility for his own shit.
Yeah.
He's throwing everybody else under the bus and backing it up and forward over him like 4 or 5 times. It's the rookie's fault. It's this guy's fault. They're not catching the ball. What about you throwing it to where you shouldn't be throwing it? Take some responsibility. Man up, admit your mistakes, that you fucked up. You don't know how to read the defense right. You're throwing interceptions into You're throwing the ball into traffic, causing you to have your interceptions that you have it. You're throwing shitty throws. Take the blame yourself. My rant's over.
Oh, that was good.
That was good.
That was good.
Can we clip that?
John Reed is right. He's lost the teammates' respect. He really has. If I'm on a team and my quarterback, who should be the natural born leader of that team, because that's how every team is set up in this league, Mahomes, if Mahomes comes in out of a game and sits there and says, it's this guy's fault, it's that guy's fault, this guy's fault. If you don't think a little bit of his respect drops after that from the rest of the players in that locker room, hell yeah. No, what's he do? It's my fault. When he gets to the podium and they ask him questions, what's a good quarterback do? It's my fault. I should have paid attention to what was going on. I should have gone a different way with that ball. It's my fault. I take full responsibility. A good leader takes full responsibility for what their fuck-ups are. Even if it isn't their mess up, they still should be taking responsibility for that team as the leader of that team or that unit.
Mm-hmm. But a good leader also, too, will go, and it's not public. You don't share this. This is between you and that teammate. That quarterback goes over. Perfect example was Baker Mayfield week before last. That rookie wide receiver that's a super stud that they have.
Ibuka?
He went up. It was a beautiful pass and he goes up and he just puts one hand up to try and catch it with one hand like he's going to. I want to get on ESPN and be like, da. Well, he dropped the ball. Well, they got over to the sideline. Baker Mayfield, they showed this on TV. Baker Mayfield goes over, you don't ever disrespect my passes like that ever again. Do I make myself clear? And that's the type of leadership that you have. And then when he was asked later on, he's like, look, I'm going to throw him the ball. He's too damn good. It's just as important for me to deliver a good ball as it is for him to catch it. It's us, not me, not I. It's us that has to be successful on the play.
What's up, OG? OG Daniels in the house. What's up, brother? How you been? Haven't seen you in a while.
What's going on, OG?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was the same thing when I'm sure you saw it in the police service. When I was in the fire service and I was an officer, listen, there's times and places to fire off at your crew. If something's a life and death situation and they're fucking it up and you want them to, change direction from what they're doing so it doesn't cause anybody any injuries, you scream at that point or you say something out loud so they stop what they're doing. That's different. But if they mess up and it's something not that big of a deal that can be handled back at the firehouse in private situation, like in your office, and you say to them, hey, listen, next time do it this way instead. It'll be that's what a leader does. He doesn't berate people or his teammates or his squad in front of everybody. That's not how you do it. You take the blame at the moment while you're out in public as the officer in charge. You're ultimately responsible for that person as the person that's in charge. Yep. But when you get back to wherever it is you're at, if you're in a police station, you're in a firehouse, then you tell them, hey, listen, in a nice, quiet conversation, listen, I'm not going to bust your balls, but listen, next time do it this way instead. It'll save you some grief and it'll save me from having to yell at you, and I don't want to do that. Then you don't just sit there and go, well, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing that way? You didn't block for me this time. That's the shit. It just aggravates the fuck out of me. Absolutely.
That was one of the things towards the end of my career. The younger guys had a lot of respect for me, and because even though I was at the tail end, I had, I didn't leave them hanging. I always made sure that I was there. You need anything from me, you let me know. I got your back. I would show up on their traffic collisions, or I would show up on their DV calls, or whatever.
Thanks for being here, Kenny. We appreciate you, brother.
I would pitch in and help out. I wouldn't just stand there and twiddle dee and twiddle dum. But I also expected them too to handle their shit, because if I'm going to handle my shit, you're going to handle your shit too. Take care of business. We go home at the end of the day.
Guys, my question is this: when has Geno Smith ever been known for being a good leader?
Never. He did have a little bit of respect in Seattle, though. A little bit. I wouldn't say it was enormous, but there was a time, not last year, but the year before, where those guys actually played hard for him because he was giving it his all as well. But I don't think, as far as being a vocal leader, a rah-rah guy, and really, in all honesty, the rah-rah shit that doesn't do no good. It's the guy that is going to go out there. As soon as the other 10 guys look in the huddle into your face mask, they have to have the confidence that you're going to lead them down the field to a touchdown.
100%. So that's why I'm asking.
Confidence. And if they don't,
when's the last time Geno has that?
I'd say 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they had in Seattle. They had a good run in the middle to end of the season to where their offense, they were confident in Geno getting the job done. Now I'm talking about the players, not the coaches. The players they had confidence in him. Okay, you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying the coaches.
I 100% understand what you're saying when you said it's the players, not the coaches.
Yeah,
the players.
And that's what it takes. That's what a leader is. When you're looking at huddle, and your quarterback or your middle linebacker or your center and your strong safety, you look in the huddle and you look into his face mask and you go, I got to do my job to make, I don't want to let him down. That's where the leadership comes from. I don't want to let him down.
Tony, we'll be tied with them, but we need them to lose though too. So they don't go back up on us because they got 2 wins right now.
We don't need to be tired.
USC's about to win. There's 30 seconds left in this game, and they won 31-13. They got Notre Dame next week. That's going to be a good game.
Who's that?
They beat Michigan. Michigan was ranked number 15. They're going to drop now.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to move on to predictions and final thoughts because we're kind of at the tail end of this now. So this one. Predictions and finals. All right. So Will and Jason, who's your MVP? Who do you think is going to be the MVP in this game? And what's your final score?
Devin White, we lose 15-13.
2. And you said Devin White?
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing it down. So
Yeah, that's all right.
Will, what do you got?
Ashton Genty, 21-17.
How many?
Oh,
What's your
21-17.
21?
Was that 21 with the 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought I heard.
And you're
41.
saying we
I was
win?
"Whoa."
Offensive explosion.
Yeah.
That's a Genty,
And you
6
say we
touchdowns.
win that, right? You're saying we win it?
21-17 us.
Okay. Well, I'm sticking with my 30-21. We win. My MVP,
Max Crosby.
mm-mm.
You got to pick somebody else
JPJ.
besides Mike Stroud.
JPJ.
Mm-mm.
As long as JPJ doesn't lead the team in tackles, we're good.
I'm going to go Mostert.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I like it.
Uh-oh.
So
Thinking outside
Donut
the box.
Thunkin says, and this is for the chat too, so make sure you guys pick what you want too.
I can
Donut
see that.
Thunkin says 3-0 Raiders MVP is Carlson for making the field goal.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Ernest says winner scores 50. Dixon says Cam Ward's the MVP. 24-10 Titans win. Oof.
Ouch.
Let's see. I like how autocorrect changed goal to goals. I'm not bueno says 24-9 Raiders.
Oh, if it's that type of game, I'm cruising. I'm cruising all weekend long.
Gio says MVP is Ashton Genty, Raiders 38, Titans 13. Oof.
Good Lord.
What's up, Tanner? What's
Good
up, brother?
Lord, that is just throttling right there.
So Bill M said Moser earlier, so he's with me. Okay. Oh my God. Ernest says 52-30 MVP is Geno. I almost went Geno.
52? Oh my gosh, we just scored all our offensive points for the whole season in one game.
Pick it as a chip on his shoulder. Hasn't got his second chance yet to resurrect himself. I'll tell you right now, if Geno throws 2 or 3 interceptions, Pickett best be on that. His feet better be on that field. Because if they stick with Geno after 3 interceptions, I've lost all faith in Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll. So early riser says Carlson 17-20 last second winner. Marcus says Titans 21, Raiders 17, MVP is Cam Ward. Now keep in mind, Marcus is a Titans fan.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know. Yeah,
Marcus has been around. He's been in and out. He's been in my channel since I started this over a year ago. So he's been like one of my day one guys. Him and Sacktown Mike. So Marcus, and I say this all the time about Marcus. He's one of the most down to earth dudes. And the fact that he's not a Raiders fan, but he knows more sometimes about the Raiders situations than some Raider fans that are in the chat. And it's absolutely amazing. I love it.
He's a football guy.
Dude, he's not an asshole.
But you know what? He's not making that prediction because he's trying to kiss her, but he's doing the same thing that I'm doing. It's like, let's kind of state the obvious. This is my team, so this is what we're used to. So this is what's going to happen, and this is my prediction. So I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But
Accelerator said if the Raiders score 30, I'll go to the Social Security office and change my last name to LaFontaine or Downs. So does that mean we inherit a son? Tanner says 27-24 Raiders. Bills 27-17 Raiders. We can all tell we've been drinking by now with those predictions.
Yeah, those predictions.
I'm stone cold sober, bro. I haven't had a drink in 5 years, so
I'm
can't
sober
blame that
too.
one on
So.
me. I've been saying 30 all season long, so that hasn't changed.
no.
So I know you guys gave your well. Actually, you know what? Based on your scores, so you guys expect a tight finish, not a one-sided game. That you guys are saying that this comes down to the wire, basically, because you both Jason's at 15-13, so you're at a 2-point difference. Will is 21-17, so you're at a 4-point difference. So you guys are talking one score or even like a field goal basically changes things. In my case, I'm at a 9-point swing here, so it's either way. For me, it's a 2-score difference. I don't think it's a tight game. It could swing either way. It could be a tight game. It could be a not tight game in our favor, or it could hurt against us. I don't see us losing like we did last week, though. I think that Titan game's
no.
I mean that Colts game's not going to be a repeat this week.
Tomorrow's going to be a battle of who sucks the least. That's what it's going to be a battle of. And I predict 17-13 because most likely to be 13-9. They get a late touchdown with 4 minutes to go. They try and go for 2. They don't get the 2-point conversion, so they're only up on us 15-13. And then we Raider the rest of the fucking game.
Cool Kev says Raiders 24-14 over the Titans. Accelerator says 0-0 till overtime. What's up, Hits Boy? He said 24-3 Titans. Ernest, two of the worst teams in the NFL. How can there be an MVP?
I was thinking the same thing.
Factual.
Hey, Raider Ben's in the house. What's up, Raider Ben? How you doing, brother? Saludos, everyone. I haven't been around pretty much clocked out of football at this point. Sad times. Take it easy, folks. All right, man. Yeah, Dixon, you're right. Our locker room is lost. It feels that way for sure, man.
As soon as we go to a players-only meeting like that, there's locker room issues.
Dude, a Band-Aid? We don't need Band-Aid. We need battle dressings. We need fucking coagulating
rope and all that shit.
Yeah. We need tourniquets on every goddamn limb.
Plasma. We need bags of plasma.
Donuts Duncan says this game's going to have a score in the first quarter and then nothing the rest of the game. Oh,
yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
All the scores in the first part. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to turn into an episode of The View after about the first quarter.
Raiders 276, Titans 9. They prepaid Pete's casket already.
Diesel. Come on, fuckers, have some faith. That's the problem, is we have faith.
Yeah. 2 weeks in a row with a players meeting. Who's not suiting tomorrow or being cut Monday or traded Monday for all we know. So that's pretty much it. That concludes our evening, folks. Will, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Guys, if you guys are in the chat room, you guys need to hit the like, subscribe, and share button on every single one of these channels. That's my first thought. My second thought is, hey, man, Raider Nation, go out there, enjoy yourself tomorrow, man. I know there's going to be a long, tough game. Make sure that you're hanging out with family. Make sure that you're enjoying yourself. At the end of the day, guys, we all know, hey, it's nothing but a game. But definitely go out there and enjoy it and have a great Sunday afternoon. And we hope to see you guys on the show when with Jay and Just Pod, baby, right after the game and see our post-game thoughts.
Jason?
I want to win. I need a win. Everybody needs a. We Raider Nation needs a win. We need a win. All right. Let's just face it. We need a win. I mean, I'm hoping for the best and expecting the same, pretty much. I guess I don't know, but
no, don't give me that, Jason. No,
since it's my turn, Will, just chill, Will. I'm gonna give a shout out to all the people in the chat today. Cool Kev, thanks for coming in, brother. As always. One of my favorites. I'm not bueno. Nice to see you. Much respect. Marcus Banks, welcome back, my friend. Hope all is well. Coach Sippin, Jamba Juice, Bill M, Geomex, some of our regulars that we get in here. Marcus Banks, I already said Marcus, but I'll say it again. What the hell? Accelerator, thanks for the promos and whatnot. Love it. We'll talk later. Who else? Ernest Biaggi, thanks for coming in. Raider Nation 510, thanks for coming in. Great takes, by the way. Great takes.
Raiders.
And then the one and only, Donuts Duncan. Thank you, brother. I'm done.
You done now? Okay.
I'm done.
So the game is tomorrow, 4:05 Eastern. Was that 1:05 your time on the West Coast, right?
Yeah, 1:05
East Pacific Coast time. I will be back on Monday with the Monday morning quarterback with Chris for Raiders. Now we'll have a special treat because Chris will have actually been at the game, so we'll get his take on what he saw in person. And then we'll go from there. We'll have as we always do, Chris and I will pick an MVP that we thought from the game, and we'll pick our most unvaluable player also from the game. So we'll be back on. That is 12:45 p.m. Eastern time and 9:45 Pacific time, Monday morning. And then Tuesday night, Will and I will be on together along with Leo, Cheeto Linus, and James from the military chapter doing the Most Notorious podcast, where we discuss everything involved with the black hole, talk a little bit about the game, and then just about what's going on with different chapters and things within the black hole organization. And then Wednesday, I'll be on with Leo again, along with LV Raider 10 and Jay from Just Raiders Baby for our Raider Connection on Wednesday night. So make sure you guys tune in for that. That usually starts at 10 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Pacific. Anybody that's a member of my channel, I've changed some things up on the memberships. I added some emojis. I added some different icons and shit too. And I opened up a new membership port thing too. I dropped down one more level too. So there's a new one there that's a 99 cents per month. You get some of the perks that, you get some of the emojis and such. But so I did make some changes to make it more appealing for people if they want to join. Because here's the big reason I'm doing this. So if you guys have noticed, I hit 2,000 subscribers within the last week. Okay.
Woo!
Been wanting to do something for certain levels of when people join, or not, but when I hit those certain milestones. But I'm going to just culminate this all into the 2,000. So we're going to do some giveaways is what I'm going to do. And part of the giveaways are going to be, I've got stickers coming in for me. So we're going to have 401 Raider Jeff stickers. Some of the giveaways are going to include the chapter stickers, chapter patch, and one of our chapter t-shirts. The t-shirts are on order, so it won't be until everything comes in. But once it comes in, I will then figure out what I'm going to do. So there will be a couple of different giveaways. There'll be one specifically for members themselves, and then one that's for subscribers. So make sure if you want to be a member and be part of that, make sure you guys join up. And we're going to go from there. So we're up over 2,000 now, and we're just on to bigger and better things. And I appreciate everybody hanging in there with us for the 2 hours on this show tonight. And Chris, I know, like I said, Chris isn't here tonight. Lucky bastard's going to the game. And let's get that win tomorrow, baby. Just win, baby, as we always say. And as I always say, stay safe and go Raiders.
Let's go Raiders!
You're weird.
Love my team. Let's go.
I'm not weird.
Really strange. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats tonight, too.
Thanks, guys.
Well, have a good
As Charles Woodson would say, rain.